I know I can't be the only one who has been targeted like crazy by these Instagram ads. Like seriously, can't scroll 3 or 4 posts without seeing one, so their marketing team is doing a great job. But that being said, I am a sucker for visually appealing ads and fun DIY kits. And so I took it upon myself to order this woven bag kit from Craft Club, and we're gonna be putting it to the test in today's video. If you're new here, hi, my name's Erica. I love any and everything yarn related. My primary hobby is crochet, but from time to time I do love to make videos about other random yarn DIY kits and things of that nature. So here's how my reviews typically go. First, we're gonna talk a little bit about the company. I love to learn about these small businesses and what their missions and visions are. Their missions and visions are, and then we'll also unbox the kit, we'll make it together, and then I will give you guys my final thoughts at the end with my review. So if that sounds like fun, then let's get started. Let's start by talking about Craft Club. So I actually have their about section pulled up on my laptop right here, and it looks like they were founded in 2021 out of Sydney, Australia. The closest thing that I could find to a mission statement was this: Craft Club was born out of a mission to make creativity accessible. We believe that feeling proud of something you've made should be an experience that everyone gets to have, which I love. The creator's name is Nikisa, and she actually had a really interesting path to founding this company. Her family didn't believe that you could have a successful job in a creative field, so she kind of pushed that urge to the side for a while she went down the path of becoming an accountant, only to find that that really was not who she was or what she wanted to do. So she made a switch into fashion buying, and she realized that creativity was really important to her all along. And so that was why she wanted to make this company where she could make really easy, accessible, beginner-friendly kits for people who have told themselves that they were not creative enough all of their lives. Craft Club also has a variety of different kit types. So while I purchased the woven bag kit, they also have crochet kits, embroidery, cross stitch, and many more. They also have latch hooking, which was something I used to love doing as a kid. I guess the yarn addiction started early with me, but I will definitely be trying one of those out if today's review goes well. Enough talking now though, let's get into opening this kit because I have been dying to do this with you guys. It's been waiting in my closet for a while. So, this is how I found the package. Now, I'm not blaming Craft Club for this, the open piece, because I don't know how it would have made it in one piece like this. We have people that like to steal packages in my complex. That's another story. But I did notice that the box was in pretty bad shape. Now, I don't know if these are shipped from Australia and it had a really long journey to get here, but I did see somebody else had a similar remark in their review and said they bought this as a gift, and unfortunately it was not even giftable due to the shape of the box. So I definitely see what they're talking about. But I got the woven bag in the black gingham color. This costs $39, but I had a coupon for an additional 15% off because it was my first purchase. And I also saw on their website that they just released a bunch of new colors that are really cute. They have like a red gingham, a beige one. They didn't have those at the time of when I ordered this, so I got the black. I think it'll still be really cute. But let's get to opening. Hi guys, it's Editing Erica here. I am very disappointed to report back that I completely forgot to hit record when I was showing you guys the overhead view of all of the things in my package when I was unboxing it. So I figure I'll just do a voiceover. I'm so sorry. I hope that this works. I'll voice over a picture from their website of the stuff that came in my package. So everything that came in the package, I had 3 really fuzzy yarns, and they reminded me of the Little Bunny yarn from Premier, very soft, fuzzy. I also had 2 leather or faux leather handles for my purse. It came with a gold crossbody chain. It also came with the canvas, of course, so that you could actually weave into that to make the bag. Something that I did not love about this, and we'll talk about later, is that it was unmarked, and I was a little bit scared of that, rightfully so. It came with a little canvas bag to put into your bag, and then inside of the little brown bag here, it had all of these notions like stitch markers, which were so cute. They're heart-shaped, a flower threader for your needle. It came with 2 embroidery needles and some embroidery thread, and just little bits and bobs for the finished piece. And then it did come with a crochet keychain that had the little lily on it that you'll see later in the video, but I'm pretty sure it's knit because I don't think they have people crocheting those keychains. And then what's not pictured is the free tutorials, and that's one of the bigger selling points for this kit, is that it comes with free tutorials for a beginner who does not know how to weave, like myself. That's everything that came in the package. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me for that oversight. Okay, back to the video. And then it comes, of course, with the instructions, and similar to the Woobles kit, it's also going to have the video tutorials online, which I am definitely gonna take advantage of. So let me get sorted and situated, and I will check back in with you guys when I kind of have a grip on what's going on here. I'm just getting started, and my baby's here. She doesn't like the smell of the Sharpie, but I'm just getting started on marking my, like, netting canvas up, and when I found out I had to do it myself with a Sharpie, I was like, oh no. But fortunately, the video tutorials are helping, but this is not like latch hooking where you just get the canvas with the markings on it. I'm sure some latch hook kits are like that. The ones I've always had all of the different color changes on it, kind of like diamond painting. So, should be interesting, but we're just gonna soldier on with the Sharpie. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out how to do it. I'm a noob, but this is supposed to be super beginner friendly. So, it says that the part of drawing it on is optional, and I think I'm just gonna try skipping it and seeing how it goes. We're just gonna dive straight into the weaving. If I had one of the more complicated patterns like the tulip or something like that, or like the squiggly lines, I think I would be a little bit more set on figuring out how to get the markings onto the bag. But because I feel like it's gonna be okay once I get the first row done, I think we're just gonna go for it. So we'll see. We might come back to this, but for now, I'm gonna put that Sharpie away because that was stressful and challenging.
The canvas. You want to pull until you have around a 10cm little tail behind. Then you're going to take your needle and you're going to go back down.
After an almost mini meltdown thinking I could not do it, I think I started to figure it out. It's definitely very different from anything I've ever done personally. I do wish that this came marked. I think that would have helped me a lot, but I think I'm starting to understand. What was throwing me off is you have to go out through the same hole that you're entering in with a different color, so the counts felt really confusing to me, but I think I'm starting to get it, and I can now see the benefit of marking up the project, so I'm kind of wondering if I want to try doing that now too. I did end up giving in and marking everything with my Sharpie. That was not my favorite thing to do. There's a lot of counting. I would kind of equate it to like doing a gauge swatch. If you're knitting or crocheting, you know it's a necessary evil. You really don't want to do it, but it's going to make your life so much easier later on in the process. So hopefully now I can start to pick up some steam and get moving and grooving on this, but that was tough. Is anybody else also like this? Like, you know, following directions will make things go so much faster, but you try to like speed through the directions instead of just like breaking things down and going slowly. I will say crafting never fails to humble me. So with that, let's get moving on this because I think we can actually make some good progress now. Regular appearance in the video. Say hello, beautiful boy. Look at the camera. Okay, you don't want to. All right. Okay, I have done the, oh moon. I am done with the first half now, and I'm finally moving. Please. I am officially halfway through-ish. I mean, halfway through with the front and back panel, but at least you're starting to see the gingham take shape. Now, the back does not look very clean. I have no idea how to make it look better, but that doesn't matter because it's going to be on the inside of the bag. So at least things are kind of starting to shape up. I feel like I'm a lot more familiar now with the process. I'm just moving and grooving, and I made a discovery like I don't know, about 3/4 of the way through of this, that there was this little threader in the bag of notions, and it's so cute. It has a little flower on the end. So I don't know what else is in here that I missed. Let's see. Oh my gosh! I should have looked at this in the beginning. Look at how cute these stitch markers are. They're hearts. Adorable. I stuck my own stitch marker on there, so I clearly did not do a very good job of showing you guys all of the materials in this bag in the beginning, so here you go. I am like kind of tired of doing this, I'm not gonna lie. It feels like weaving in ends, but just nonstop. I am having fun, but I need a little bit of a break, and so I think I'm gonna stop here for the day probably, and then I will check back in with you guys when I pick this project back up. I do think that it's really cool that they give you this craft club bag, so I'm just gonna put everything in here for now, and then I will come back to this when I'm feeling ready to tackle it again. Hi friends, I'm checking in. So I have made some progress since I sat with you guys yesterday. I worked on the front of the bag, so the front and the back and the bottom of the bag are done, and I must say, now that I have figured out this whole like marking up the canvas thing, it has gone so much more smoothly, and I'm definitely enjoying it a lot more. I feel like anytime you learn a new craft, there's always new things you have to learn, and it can just be kind of difficult to start. But once I got that down, I will say it's gotten a lot easier. If you are going to do this kit, a little tip for you, the hardest thing for me to wrap my head around for some reason was that wherever the color ends and the next color starts, you're finishing your stitch out of the same hole that you're starting the next color in. And if you're not gonna do it, don't worry about it. But if you are and you're getting stuck on the drawing part like I was, that was the hardest thing for me to grasp. So just keep that in mind. Now all I have left to do is work on the 2 side panels, and then we can start getting to assembling. So I'm just gonna finish working on that. I've got some Secret Lives of Mormon Wives up on my laptop in front of me. I'm pretty behind, but I'm finally watching the reunion, and I think it's so weird that Nick Viall is the host, but neither here nor there. Let's get to finishing up these 2 pieces, and then we can get to assembling. Next day, and I'm finally finished with the bag, and look at how adorable this turned out. But we are not done yet. I actually went to Michael's and picked up a few things to make this extra unique and personalized. So while I was there, I grabbed some things to do a little charm chain moment on the bag. So I've got a gold chain, and then I've got these 3 charms right here. So we have a cute little fortune cookie charm, we have a bow, and then just a regular star. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those on my bag, and then I'll be right back. So here she is, all finished, and look at how cute it is with the charms. I love how this turned out, and I'm really glad that I decided to do the extra bag charms. I know it's a little bit extra and doing the most, but I like it. It looks like cuteness just vomited all over this bag, and I am here for it. Just to show you guys what the finished bag looks like up close, I actually ended up doing the seaming incorrectly. I mean, I don't think it matters. I think you could do whatever you choose to, but when they had the directions for this bag, you'll notice that I did everything in this gray color. Their recommendation, or the way that they were showing it, was changing the colors by the gingham, using whichever one was on the edge, and I didn't have time for that, didn't want to do that, but I still think it turned out really cute all the same. And I love the materials that they sent to you. I think that they were really nice. You could see how nice the leather, faux leather probably, handles look. And I also love that it came with this metal clasp, which I think makes it go from a cute craft to one that you can actually use. And I feel like that is always the goal of the things that we make, actually being able to use them. I really like this gold chain that they give to you, so that way you can make the bag crossbody. You also have the option to put it through your arm like so. And the other thing I love that they did was this little canvas bag that they give you. They recommend that you use this as the lining. And you can sew it in, but they recommend actually just leaving it free so that way you can take it out and clean it at any time. I think that's really smart because the inside of my bag looks a little bit like a mess. It definitely looks like a beginner was weaving for the first time. So with that, I want to give you guys my final thoughts and my review of this kit. So let's start with the good. I think that the materials that they provide are very high quality. I really like these hand straps. The yarn feels nice and soft. It covers up any mistakes, which is perfect for a beginner. I love the little keychain. I think that's a really nice touch. And the metal hardware as well, like this little handmade badge thing logo is so cute, and it just makes it look like a professional bag even though it's not. So love the materials. The heart-shaped notions were so cute. The flower-shaped needle threader was also a really nice touch. I think that they really do a great job of curating these kits with high-quality supplies. I also think that the finished item just turns out absolutely adorable. I mean, need I say more? This is so cute, and again, a craft that hopefully you'll actually put to good use. And I also thought that the video tutorials were really in-depth, very helpful. They were really long, and they really walked you through every single step of the process if you're somebody that has never done weaving before. Now, let's move on to the cons of the kit. While I thought that the materials were really high quality, I wish that they provided a little bit more of this yarn. And you can see here that it's already ripped in half for me. And it's because when I was threading my needle through and seaming this handle to the bag, it actually split, and then the thread was kind of ruined, and I had to cut some of it off. And they only give you 2 pieces that are like just enough to seam in the handles. And in the tutorials, I know the person giving them talked about saving your thread as much as you could for the end in case you needed extra, but I feel like for the price of $40, they should be able to give us enough supplies just in case we mess up and need extra. The other thing is taking it back to the beginning of the process. I really wish that they would have marked the canvas with the markings for each of the patterns. It was kind of a challenging place to start at as a beginner, and it would have just made it so much easier if that was already done for me and I didn't have to worry about getting my Sharpie out and figuring out where to mark things. And then lastly, while the videos were really thorough, I personally felt like they were a little bit drawn out at times. Some of them were like an hour long, and the person doing the tutorial was going through each stitch, but actually doing it in real time. It felt like there wasn't a lot of movie magic going on of fast forwarding and editing. And when you're a beginner and you see an hour-long tutorial just to get one part of the bag done, it is a little bit daunting. So those are the pros and cons. Now for my own personal thoughts. While I enjoyed making this adorable bag, I don't think that weaving is a hobby that I'm going to get into anytime soon, and this is why. It takes all of the parts of crochet that I kind of like to put off till the very end and don't necessarily enjoy, and it's basically a project made up of only that. So like weaving and seaming and sewing in your ends, those are all things that I don't necessarily love to do, and it felt like quite a marathon to do that for the entirety of this project. But I will not hold that against the final score. I know that's just personal preference. I just wanted to share that. And then speaking of the price, I'm a little bit torn if I think that this bag kit was worth the $40. While I think that the materials were very high quality and I liked the tutorials, I do think if you're looking at the kit and the supplies alone, it's a little bit overpriced. That being said, I do think it's kind of like the Woobles kits where if it's your first time doing this craft, it's very convenient to have everything in one stop as well as those tutorials for a very beginner. But if you've done it before, you can probably start to get your own materials and save quite a bit of money. So taking into consideration all of those pros and cons and the pricing, I would give this kit a 4 out of 5 stars. I definitely think it's worth giving a shot if the act of weaving and seaming looks like fun to you. I would also recommend definitely using the coupon code that you get as a first-time buyer. So that's gonna wrap up today's make-along and review. I hope that you enjoyed it. If there's anything else you would like to see me test that's yarn related, please be sure to leave that in the comment section down below. As usual, if you like this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and I will be back in the future with more yarn related content very soon. Thanks, bye!